It has been a very long time since I filmed a book haul like this. Since the beginning of 2020, when the country went into lockdown and we all got sent home, I have been doing our book hauls as virtual book hauls. But those of you who have been around for a long time, our most loyal subscribers, will remember that book hauls used to be literally book hauls. And so I am very excited to be back in the Macmillan office with a massive and very heavy, so I'm going to put it down now, box of books. I don't know yet what's going to be inside here, but I can tell you that the contents of this box are some of the most exciting books that we have published from Macmillan in the month of February. Let me know which ones of these you have bought yourself this month or which ones you've got your eye on. It's so pretty. I'm gonna put it on the floor so I've got more room to move. So top of the pile in that box we have Heartsick by Jessie Stevens. This one is going straight in my backpack, taking this one home. I have really wanted to read this. So this is a non-fiction book about breakups. The vibe that I get from this one is that it is similar to the book Three Women by Lisa Taddeo, which was another non-fiction book I really enjoyed. Where that one was about women and their desires, this book is about breakups. So it's about three different stories of different couples breaking up and the different experiences that they go through, because heartbreak is this universal and really, really powerful form of grief that the majority of us are going to go through at some point. But what really caught my attention about this one the first time I saw it is that the book kind of confronts the idea that heartbreak is a type of grief that we don't really give that much respect to. Because I think it's so universal, because so many of us have been through it, you're kind of just expected to keep functioning when your heart is breaking, but actually it's a really strong, powerful emotion. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I'm probably sobbing my way through it. Another gorgeous hardback in here, New Animal by Ella Baxter. So this one is fiction. I have seen so many people showing this one off on their Instagrams. It's such a striking cover. And I can see here that it is about sex and death at its core. It's a heartbreakingly funny debut about Amelia setting off on a 72-hour mission to outrun her grief. So she experiences a sudden loss of someone that she loves, and she skips the funeral or runs away and starts experimenting on the local BDSM scene. The beautiful hardbacks continue. I am really excited to read this. This is the latest Hannah Kent called Devotion. I know this one is going to be a sapphic love story, and it's historical fiction. So it's set in 1836, and it's about these two girls who are traveling to Australia. I don't want to say too much about what I've heard from this book. There is a twist, and I have already been told what the twist is, but knowing that just made me even more excited to read it. Not everyone feels the same way I do about spoilers, so I won't say it here, but it is going to be a love story, it is going to be sad, it is going to be beautiful. Ooh, I don't know what this one is. The Stolen Slippers. It's very shiny. This is by Melissa de la Cruz, who I know wrote Alex and Eliza, which was like based on Hamilton. This one is not based on Hamilton. This is a Cinderella story. We're about to learn who Cinderella really is. She's willing to do anything she can to be the princess of Eastphalia, even at the expense of her twin stepsisters, Hori and Bee, who actually aren't wicked at all. That's really fun. So it's a complete subversion. It's about securing the happily ever after that the stepsisters deserve. Love that. We have some short stories here. Dance Move by Wendy Erskine. Love the disco ball on the cover. In fact, there are loads of this book behind me, but they're just too high for you to see. See? There it is. So in here, we're going to meet characters who are looking to wrest control of their lives, only to find themselves defined by the moment in their past that marked them. I have been slowly getting more and more into short stories, so I'm very excited by these. Full of warmth, the familiar and the strange, they're about what it means to live in the world, how far you can end up from where you came from, and what it means to look back. Ooh, The Midwife by Trisha Cresswell. I have heard so many people in the office raving about this one. It's another historical fiction, and it's got this massive twist. So in 1838, after a violent storm, a woman is found alone, naked and near death on the Northumberland moors, with no memory of who she is and how she got there, but she has all of these skills that she doesn't know how she has, including helping a woman in labour. And in London, we meet this doctor who lives a really solitary life, working as I can't pronounce that French word, but a male midwife is what it means. But he has a dark secret from his own past. I've just heard that it's fantastic, a really, really compelling story, and also really political and relevant to today. So many people with different reading tastes have loved this book. I've got a little collection here from the Picador collection. If you watched my last book break video, you will see that I showed all of these and more off. So this is just 3 of the currently 13 books in the Picador collection, but there are even more to come. So we have Station 11, the dystopian pandemic nightmare that seemingly predicted COVID. Red Dust Road by Jackie Kay, which is a memoir about Jackie Kay learning that she is adopted and then going on a journey to track down her birth parents. And Middle Passage by Charles Johnson, which I have not read, but this was a winner of the National Book Award, and it's a masterful blend of allegory, comedy, naval adventure, and supernatural horror. That is quite the mix. Should we have some children's books? I've been really missing getting to see these in person. My mum is a lioness. This is a hilarious tale about a wildly imaginative boy and his loving family. Look, his mum is a lioness. And the most adorable title for a book I've ever seen, Teapot Trouble. This is a duck and tiny horse adventure. A crab is in Duck's teapot, but never fear, Tiny Horse has a brilliant plan to get it out using a toothbrush, a trampoline, and a stick of celery. Can I sit here and read this right now? I want to know how they manage it. Look at the creativity of this duck and tiny horse. We have an Anne Cleeves in here, The Herons Cry. So this is part of the Two Rivers series that features Detective Matthew Venn. You may have been watching it on ITV. The series there is called The Long Call. So this is book number 2. It's set in North Devon and Matthew Venn is called out to a rural crime scene at the home of a group of artists where he finds an elaborately staged murder. The victim is a local doctor and the murder weapon is a shard of glass from one of his daughter, Eve, who is a glass blower, from one of her broken vases. What's going on? Sabotage on the Solar Express. What number book in the series is this? This is part of Adventures on Trains. I think this is number 5 in the series. These have been so popular. Each book takes us on a different train journey through a different location. This one is a thrill ride across the Australian outback. And you're going to want to catch up on the series because the next one that's coming is called The Arctic Railway Assassin. And I'm already very excited by that too. This book is called Dinosaurs Rock, and it is correct. Dinosaurs Do Rock. This is by Dougie Poynter of McFly fame. This brilliant book is packed with 100 million years of dinosaur history, hilarious jokes, interviews with top dinosaur scientists, and more. Let's find a cool dinosaur fact. Did you know that the first dinosaurs lived on Earth almost 100 million years before any flowers were on Earth? That's a long time ago. Let's also have some dinosaur jokes. What do you call a dinosaur in high heels? Put your guess in the comments. But I'm now going to tell you the answer. My Fetosaurus. You'll have to read the book to get the rest of the jokes. Next, we've got the paperback release of a non-fiction book, The Book Collectors of Daria. So this is such an extraordinary story about an underground library. So it's set in Daria in Damascus, and it's about these 40 young Syrian revolutionaries who rescued all the books they could find out of their bombed out ruins of their hometown and used them to create a secret underground library. Now you can see this incredible picture of the library there, and it became this refuge and a school and just this place of learning and of hope. Brown Girl Like Me by Jaspreet Kaur is the essential guidebook on how to deal with growing up brown, female, marginalised and opinionated. So it's this manifesto for South Asian girls and women. Every day brown women are resisting, challenging and thriving, but where are their stories? I'll tell you, they're in here. So it's got loads of interviews interwoven throughout it. So you get loads of different voices, so many different diverse experiences, and it really tackles just some of the most complicated conversations that brown women are tackling today. I'm sure this one needs no introduction. This Is Going to Hurt. Let me know in the comments below if you've been watching the TV show. I have not because I am very, very squeamish, but I did love this book. So this is The Secret Diaries of a Junior Doctor. The book is pulled together from Adam Kay's own diaries of his time spent working on the NHS on a labour ward. It is pretty horrifying at times. It is also very sad, but most of all it is very, very funny and very eye-opening. So if you liked the show, definitely make sure to go back and read this one. We've got some lovely poetry from Brian Bilston. Alexa, what is there to know about love? This one came out in hardback last year, and I will link below to a Valentine's Day video that I made where I dressed up as various characters, including my attempt at personifying these poems. I'm not a gifted actor, so I'll leave you to judge how you think I did, but these poems are very, very funny. Brian Bilson is just fantastic, and they're also really poignant at times as well. Brian Bilson is known as the poet laureate of Twitter. He is very, very funny, so you should go and follow him there, where he is constantly writing very relevant, timely poetry, and they're really, really accessible poems as well. He's fantastic. Another non-fiction here, How to Leave Your Psychopath by Maddie Anholt. So this is a very important book. This is the essential handbook for escaping toxic relationships. It's based on the comedian Maddie Anholt's own experiences in these relationships, and it's designed to help open people's eyes to what being in an abusive relationship can look like, to be able to spot those red flags, and then to help yourself realize what you can do about it. Maddie knows only too well the havoc that these charming, charismatic, yet life-trampling that's controlling trolls, can play, and, more importantly, how to wriggle free. We Are the Brennans has been a massive New York Times bestseller, so now it is our turn over the pond to fall in love with it. This is about a dysfunctional family. When 29-year-old Sunday Brennan wakes up in a Los Angeles hospital, bruised and battered after a drunk driving accident she caused, she swallows her pride and goes home to her family in New York. But it's not easy. This one has just been adored by so many people. I feel like everyone loves a dysfunctional family in literature. And finally, we're getting to the end of the box. The final one in here is The Interview by C.M. Ewan, which I actually just finished reading myself. This is a page-turner and a half. It is tense. Her dream job or a deadly trap? So this is about a woman who is called to an interview in this iconic, tall, mirrored building in London, and her interview is at 5 p.m, so shortly after arriving, the office empties and she realizes she is alone in a strange building with a strange man, and his questions have started to turn pretty disturbing. It's basically all written in real time. It's this really short time frame. It's incredibly tense, incredibly claustrophobic as we watch this woman become increasingly desperate and trapped in this very scary situation. And with that, the box is empty, and I am so excited to have been able to do that in person again. So do let me know in the comments below which of those books you are most excited about picking up yourself, or if there are any that you have already hauled. Maybe they're already sitting on your bookshelves. And I will link here to a playlist of all of our other book hauls, virtual and physical, and I'll see you next time.